Okay, so here are the fitted masks. So we cut them out. It's a rectangle. This is the adult size. It's 8 inches wide, 7.5 inches tall. Okay, and put them right sides together again with the t-shirt and the fabric, and then serge across the top and the bottom, or sew if you're using a sewing machine. So just do that. That's number 1. Then I usually pass it on to my helpers, and they will do the elastic. Oops, that's not the right one. Somehow these got out of order here. So this is a child size. So the elastic is the same way, and the ribbon same way that I showed you before. And you just either do the elastic if you want to do it for the head, do it across this way. If you want to do it for the ears, then it goes up and down. And for the children's ones, we do ribbon, same thing, just in the corners. Don't worry about which ones go where. Don't worry about if it twists at all. It'll all come out. So that's 2. I just wanted to show you. So here's for these, you know, of course with the ears we use a thinner ribbon. Thinner elastic. So once that's done, they bring it back to me. I usually sew up or serge one side. Just make sure you don't catch the elastic in your sewing. Of course, if it's across the top, you want to catch that part. And you want to catch the tops and the bottom of this, but just not all in the middle. So we do one side straight down. The other side we leave a space somewhere, usually in the middle, so that we can turn it. So we just sew part way, and then again at the top too. There you go. Okay, and then once I've sewn it, it needs to be turned right side out. So that's what's happened here. They've turned them right side out for me. And then I will take it and sew a channel or a hem or a top stitch, whatever you want to call it, across the top. I'll go all the way to the end on one side, but on the other side I leave about an inch gap, and that's the side that has the hole in it. And that is so that we can put the wire through. Put the wire, up through there and up there, and I just bend it a little bit like I did on the other to keep it from, here we go, from sliding around inside. This, of course, is a child's one. Here's what it looks like with all the ribbons. Okay, and then I'll iron them. Iron this in nice and neatly so that when I sew it later, it closes up that hole. All right, now I'm going to take this, let's see, where's 7? And make the pleats. So to start with, I have it out like this, and I've made that look nice. And I fold it in half. Actually, I fold it in half this way, so the right side is out. Just iron it right along there so you have a little crease. Then I'll open it, and there's the crease right there. And I will take the top. Remember, this is the top because it has that stitching there. And I'll fold it not quite to the center line. And then the bottom one, I'll usually go up to the center line. Okay? And then I'll fold this over and iron the whole thing. And then let it set by itself for a few minutes. That helps to, as it cools, it'll keep those lines nice and crisp. So once I've done that, then I'll turn it over, and you can see we've got the lines where it was ironed. And we're going to make the pleats. So you're just going to pinch those lines and fold them down. Take that center one, same thing, pinch it, fold it down. And you just try not to overlap them, but make them pretty close, or just overlap just a little bit. And same thing with this one. Okay, so then we take those and I iron them, but I usually put a clip on them or a pin to hold them in place. And then I take it to the sewing machine. This is the part that I do because I don't think my helpers would be very helpful with this part. I think they would get frustrated. So I will sew it right along the edge here. And then the same with this side, you know, usually turned over. One of the tricks you need to remember when you do this is to hold it together. Hold it together because the machine will automatically try and spread it apart as it feeds it through. So you need to hold those together and work it through so that they stay pleated. And the same with this way too. It'll do the same thing. So just hold them as you sew it through, and then that will bring you to this. And you'll have a nice pleats, and you'll have a nice stitching. Now my helpers will take it and do the same thing. They will trim the thread, fold it in half, and put it in a baggie. And when it's all put together, you can see these have been stitched. They still need to be trimmed, but then they just go right over your ears, and the pleats open. Oh, I guess you can't see me. And the pleats open, and you can see the picture nice and neat, nice and easily, and it's done.